let's have a look at that. Okay. Right. Okay. So we have Miss Ann Hall. Okay, I know Ann Hall. Dear Dr. Roberts, writing to refer Ms. Ann Hall, a 45-year-old lady with dysphagia to solids for the last 2 weeks. For further investigation, definitive diagnosis. Very good. Ms. Hall came to see me today with a 2-week history of dysphagia to solids and concomitant epigastric pain radiating to back at the level of T12. Because she had a 2-week history of probable viral upper respiratory infection, she herself, we don't need comma, okay? Even we don't need this one really. She has been taking over-the-counter Chinese herbal remedy, which with unknown ingredients. She has lost about 1 to 2 kilograms of weight, has recently increased her coffee intake, and she occasionally takes aspirin. So this actually goes to next part, yeah? 2 to 3 times monthly. There are no remarkable signs of anxiety and no sensation of lump. Yeah, I think, yeah, we need to take this in a different place. Okay. She drinks mainly spirits socially and does not smoke. She occasionally takes aspirin 2 to 3 times monthly. She has no significant medical and family history, except an episode of dyspepsia in 2004. That's 6 years ago. Is that important?
Not important.
Hmm.
I can write it might be relevant.
I don't think it is, yeah. She's allergic to codeine and sulfur. Her BMI is 28.2. Okay. Well, usually we put that as a personal, okay. Occasionally takes, so she drinks, BMI is, these are the personal properties, okay?
Okay.
So personal properties, she takes aspirin, has no family history, she has an allergy. Based on Ms. Hall's symptoms, her condition might be due to gastroesophageal reflux followed by possible stricture. Okay. She might need to have endoscopy done. It would be highly appreciated if you could see her for the second opinion. For a second opinion, further investigation and definitive diagnostic. Okay. Good. Okay. You can say, and I suspect she might need to have endoscopy done. Okay. Basically, you can say I leave that to your decision. Okay. Because, but I would leave that to you. Okay, because it's the specialist decision. You cannot say, okay, do an endoscopy.
Yes.
Well, it's very good, I think. You can definitely score B with this. Yep, that is very good.
I write with framework of you, but I try to change my words.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you said all the necessary information, and I think you just mentioned all that was necessary. So, and nothing is unnecessary here. Okay, very good. I'm happy with that. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go here. Okay. What shall we do with the tenses? Okay, let's have a look at this tenses. Right. This is a timeline, and okay. This is a timeline, and this is 2 weeks ago. Okay. This is last week. And this is today. This is tomorrow. And so on. Okay. Now, I saw her last week. Okay. I saw her 2 weeks ago. Okay. I saw her last year. So these are all simple past. Why? Because we're talking about the past, right? Now, what's that?
I'm innocent.
You're innocent. Okay. I saw her last week, and she told me she had bought a new car. Okay. And the week before. Okay. Excuse me. So I saw her last week, and she told me last week that she had bought a new car a week before that. That is 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So this is past perfect. So we use past perfect when you, in one sentence or in one utterance, in one saying, you're talking about two things in the past, and you want to say one of them happened before the other one. Okay. But if I am talking about 2 weeks ago now, I use simple past. I saw her 2 weeks ago. Or she bought a car 2 weeks ago. So basically, I don't say she had bought, okay? Unless I have a sentence and I say I saw her last week. She told me she had bought a new car a week before, okay? So in that case, I would use past perfect. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So going back here, 3 weeks ago, on a routine 6-week baby check, Joshua's mother was concerned, okay? That's 3 weeks ago. About his bowel action and the hardness of his stool. On examination, when 3 weeks ago, everything was quite normal. And she was advised. Now, did I advise her 3 weeks ago, or had I advised her before that? She he was advised on the same day to give him some water through bottle. On review 2 weeks later, Joshua still had constipation. She was waking up crying. He was waking up crying when okay. When you say he was waking up crying when everyone was asleep. Okay. So, when we say he was waking up, what does that mean?
Yes, I catch it, doctor. You say that we should say um, explanation for that when,
That's right.
or
So,
shouldn't use continuous.
yeah. So we should say he woke up crying, okay,
Yeah.
instead of waking. So he woke up crying and was restless. He could not.
Doctor, about with this restlessness, here I want to speak فارسی. منظورم بود دکتر بنویسم که بیقرار بود، چون توی کیس نوتا نوشته بود که بچه پاشو میاره بالا، مثلا نمیخوابه و اینا. لغت restlessness درسته؟
I think you had to actually explain whatever in the case notes. You need to say that he's pushing his legs up to his stomach.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
you need to say that, and that is actually the sign that refers to intussusception. Although he had gained weight in 2 weeks, okay. Now this is correct. Although he had gained weight in 2 weeks before then, he still had lost 100 grams or something. Okay, so I don't know. So, but this is correct because as you can see here.
Doctor, I think this also refer to the before sentences that he refuses breastfeeding. He didn't eat sufficiently, but has gained weight. You know, the 100 gram, I have speak about it in the paragraph after that.
Okay, so you mean
beside this situation, we say.
well, you can say however, but yeah,
However.
yeah, it is. But you have written consequently here, so it's not so nice. But okay, so the use of although, I mean, you can say when we have two contrasting concepts. For example, we say he did not eat sufficiently. He gained weight. Okay. Now these are we want to show a contrast. So the easiest way we can say he did not eat sufficiently, but. So this is the easiest way. He gained weight. Okay? Agree? So this is the easiest way.
Yes.
With but. Okay?
But.
Okay.
And before but we need comma.
Yes. Now we can say although he didn't eat sufficiently.
He gained weight.
We don't say but.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, this is the way we used. Now, another way is that we say instead of this, we say did not eat sufficiently. However, he gained
Well,
weight. Okay.
yes.
And as I said before, we don't like this in letter writing because this makes stopped.
Yeah.
This creates a pause.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're reading a letter, you can see he was waking. He woke up crying. He didn't eat sufficiently. He didn't eat sufficiently, but he gained weight. So, or you can say, although he didn't eat sufficiently, he gained weight. Okay.
Okay.
He didn't eat sufficiently. However, he gained weight.
Mm-hmm.
So this stops the reader. Okay. Here.
Yes. What and although is better.
Yeah, I think these are better than this one in
Mm-hmm.
letter writing. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, right. Okay. So now there is another way. I mean, you said here, you say, today Joshua has not passed feces for the last 5 days. He refuses milk and his diaper has been dry for 24 hours. So this is present perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. He refuses milk usually. Okay. Or you can say he has been refusing milk
Mm-hmm.
and his diaper has been dry. Okay. He has vomited once. Now you went on to past tense now,
Mm-hmm.
but have not had fever. This is present perfect. He is irritable, that is present, and mildly dehydrated. He has mild generalized tenderness in abdomen and has lost, present perfect, 100 grams for the
Okay.
last 5 days. Yeah.
I write this by meaning, I like the ones present perfect that has started since past, for weight gain or vomiting.
Okay.
Vomiting.
When do we use present perfect? Anything which happened before today, okay, before now. Anything which has happened before now, without mentioning the time, you can use present
Yes.
perfect. Okay.
Yes.
So
Like
I mean, like here, I can say um, she has bought a new car. Do I say when?
no.
No, it's before
2 weeks.
now. Okay. If I want to say 2 weeks ago, I should say she bought a car 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Okay. She has bought a car, she's bought a new car before today, anytime. I don't say when. What is important is that buying a car. Here, she bought a car just 2 weeks ago. What is important is 2 weeks ago. Okay. Now, here, basically, um, if you say vomited once, you need to say when. He vomited once.
We don't know when, then we should say he has vomited,
Okay.
but
Uh,
has not have fever.
that's
Have
right.
is incorrect.
Yes. Uh, you could say he has refused milk in this last 5 days. Okay. You can
Mm-hmm.
say he refuses milk means always is that like that. Okay. So if you mean in the last 5 days, you should say he has been refusing milk. Okay. And his diaper has been dry for 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, he has been refusing milk. Okay. He's irritable and mildly dehydrated. On examination, he has mild generalized tenderness in abdomen and has lost 100 grams for the last 5 days. Okay. Now, on examination, you could say instead of he has, you could have said there is and 100 grams weight loss. Okay. Now, next one. Joshua is the first child. Okay, it's a fact. And was delivered normally with a weight gain uh, of, of 3250 grams at 38 weeks gestation without any perinatal or neonatal complications. When? Do you say when? She was delivered when? So we say she has been delivered because we don't say the time. Okay?
Yeah, yeah. Doctor, but we have the date of birth two
But we,
months ago.
yeah, but you don't say it here. I
Yes,
know,
I should
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I know she bought a car 2 weeks ago, but I don't say it there. Okay?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Mm,
uh, I know she bought it 2 weeks ago, but I say she has bought a new car. I
yeah.
know it was 2 weeks ago. Okay? So, mm, now, um, so what do we do then? Uh, Usually, if you're talking about the past, you use simple past. If you're talking about today, you can either use simple past and just mention um, today. Now, if you use one past tense here, these need to be had, not past, okay? Today, I saw Joshua in the morning. He had not passed feces for the last 5 days, okay? That becomes had, not passed, because I said, if I say this morning, okay?
Yeah,
Or I saw Joshua earlier today, and the mom told me that he had not passed feces for the last 5 days. He had been refusing milk. He had been dry. He had vomited. He had not had fever. Okay, so everything goes to 1/10 back.
yeah,
All right. So
yeah.
we call this a rule sequence of tenses. So in one paragraph, you can only have one tense. You cannot say one is past tense, one is present perfect. Okay. Now in this one, you said 3 weeks ago, and you used everything as simple past. Okay. What happened in the
Yeah.
past? But here you said today, and you're talking about today as present. And anything that happened before today, you use present perfect. Okay? Uh, so, um, is that clear? Is
Doctor,
that,
do
yes?
you think this type of layout get B score in this case? Not, I mean that today after the situation,
Um,
not today the first paragraph. If we write it correctly.
uh,
I'm so worried, doctor. I'm so worried about this sequence of the events that when we write the today.
okay. Well, what the problem is, we want to summarize the case notes. You know, what you haven't done here is actually you want every entry, and you say 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 days later.
Mm,
Um, uh,
mm,
we don't want this in summarizing. Okay, as you can
yeah,
see here. Okay, what did I say? You need to say the whole situation, and you just mentioned I have seen him twice before. Okay, and that is something which is in a second degree of importance. That's why we put it here. What is important is this patient today who's unwell and pushing knees into his stomach. And that means that he's got significant pain in the tummy because babies cannot talk. Okay. So yeah, I'm afraid I don't think they would give you B with that. Um,
okay.
because the problem is these are interconnected. Choosing the
Mm,
content and deleting
mm,
the unnecessary information and effective and efficient summarizing and paragraphing and logical paragraphing, these are interconnected. So when you miss one thing, you miss these all four things together. Okay. So what I would
I
like
will
you to
write
do.
the correct version, doctor, and send for you. I will
Okay.
write in that version. Yeah. Thanks a
Uh,
lot.
yeah. What if I just put that here? Yeah. What do you think?
It needs some changes.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So yeah, look at that. Look at the summary, and then uh, let's work on that. I don't know. I thought that maybe this is everybody's question because I can see that you have some trouble with sequencing the tenses. Um, yeah, is that clear now? Is that better? Are you
Yeah, it's great, doctor. Because in every case note, we have at least 3 visits, doctor, and it helped a lot us. Thank you a
okay?
lot. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
we want to summarize the different visits. Okay, so what is the most important visit is the last one. You say that first. That is the reason for referral. And what is before that is usually background information. Sometimes your last visit is connected to the previous two. So you need to mix them all together if you think it's the same presentation. Okay. So I understand what did because he thinks that this illness actually started 4 months ago, 3.5 months ago. So he starts from there. Okay. But it's a matter of your judgment. You need to, it's up to you to decide. I would say probably um, what is important is today and 3 months ago, 4 months ago was another episode. But that's up to you to decide, whichever you think is relevant. But sometimes it is obvious. For example, we have a patient who has come with blood in the stool and he had an episode of epigastric pain 4 months ago, and he had some abdominal pain 23 years ago when he had a colonoscopy, and the colonoscopy was normal. Okay, now when should I start my presentation? You can decide if it is today, or you can decide if it was 4 months ago when he had epigastric pain, or you can decide if it was 23 years ago when he had a normal colonoscopy. Or which one is better?
Today.
Yep.
Today.
So we say today. In the meantime, he had some epigastric pain 4 months ago, which I'm not sure if it is related to this illness or not, or if it is part of this illness. And then in the past medical history, we say he had a normal colonoscopy 23 years ago. Now, if I say, okay, there's a patient who has blood in the stool today, and last week he also came and he had some epigastric pain. How about that? When do you start?
From the past.
With last
to
week.
Yes. Well, it's again.
Doctor, like that case note, that man had a meniscal tear. That
Right.
we started from the past. We say
Right.
that, for example, 1 month ago he came with a pain in his knee.
Right. Okay. Right. Uh, Again, what I'm saying, you need to decide. Do you think this last week epigastric pain is related to today's blood in the stool? Is it
Yes, because
related?
maybe only.
yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe doctor.
Maybe. If you think it is, then you say it. You say, yeah, he came to me last week with epigastric pain. I gave him some pantoprazole, didn't improve. He actually came back today and he had he reported blood in the stool. Okay? So if you think that is part of this course of illness, But this is what we call, do you remember we said this is key information, and we are highlighting the information that he came last week. So we say it first. Now, if you think it is not that important, you say it might be just something good to know. It's not necessarily part of this illness. So you can say, okay, I have a patient who's come today with a blood in the stool and some abdominal pain and cramping, and it is notable that, or it can be, it is worth mentioning that he came to see me last week for epigastric pain. Okay, so this is the next level of importance. Did you get me?
Yes. Thanks.
Yes, doctor.
So basically, that's your judgment. If you think, if you think that illness started 4 months ago and it is still the same illness, you start from 4 months ago. But if you think, no, this illness is today, and that was just something good to know or something that might be relevant, but I'm not sure, then you say, well, it is worth mentioning, or it is worth noting, or another paragraph say this is also this has also happened. So now I think you now have got the vision how to approach the writing. Basically, what we need is to take out all the essential information, and that needs to be said first. Then anything which is good to know but not essential, and that needs to be mentioned. In most of the medical writings, there are some notes like this, like the patient wants referral, the patient wants something, or for example, the patient is worried, she was brought in by both parents, and things like that. Do you remember that lady Priya Sharma? I was
Yes.
worried about her diabetic control, and basically she is worried and she wants referral. Okay, so that is something, that's a note you need to add. Okay, so well, what do you think?
Good.
Good.
Good,
Okay,
doctor.
so shall we call it a day now?
Yeah.